really want you to hear from this is that, our efforts to solve problems, they can't just treat people as a means to an end. That I know better, I have all the answers, I'm right, you're wrong. Real change comes from genuine connection and leading with love. Okay? So I want to dispel a myth here. Okay? When people hear leading with love, they think it only means butterflies and unicorns. Let's lead with gratitude, right? And just say thank you to everyone. But how do you disagree with love? How do you hold a boundary with love? How do you stand up for what you believe in with love? Because action does need to happen, right? We can't just kumbaya all the time, right? Whether you're a teacher, an employee, or an employee trying to hit a deadline, a student with big ambitions and expectations, or also a deadline for a project, what does it look like to lead with love? And so a good litmus test is your internal stress level. Okay, so for example, with this internal stress level, I can write an email to a legislator or an administrator on my campus wanting to see a change happen. Okay, I can write an email and my inner stress level might be super high, right? I have the worry, the anxiety behind all the words is this feeling of inner stress and this desire to see change happen immediately, right? But I can also write the same exact email, the same exact words on the surface. On the outside, it looks the exact same, but the inside might be written from a place of calmness, groundedness, a regulated nervous system state. So when we say lead with love and gratitude-based leadership, by no means are we saying avoid discomfort. We do not mean avoid tough topics, but we do mean changing the way that we talk to others, regulating our emotions, and taking action from a grounded place of connection and perspective. And along the way, having a grace with ourselves as well, right? That we're humans and we're in the process of evolving ourselves. We're doing our best. We are going to fall short of our lofty expectations. It's actually the point, right? Where we're going to actually experience friction and get to learn from when we fall short. And that's going to be a catalyst for our inner evolution, which we'll get into here actually, which is what it looks like to teach leading with love and how we can do it. Okay. So I'll share at a high level here, and then we'll show some examples. And so there's two parts to us teaching this, and there's the outer journey, and then there's the inner journey. So the outer journey, in our case of teaching the outer journey next semester for leading impact projects, the outer journey is every student's leading their own community impact project. And the timeline builds towards Earth Week or Earth Day towards the end of April. And we're focusing on real people, real systems, real impact. All right. So a real tangible project, not some fluffy in the air, real tangible outer project. And so we approach this outer journey, the making connections with new people, writing emails, having curiosity conversations, etc. We approach this all with GBL, with gratitude-based learning and leadership. And we'll show you more in a moment about what that looks like in practice. The other part of the project is the inner journey. And so this project is an excuse for connection and friction, right? This inner journey is what unfolds on the inside of us as students practice reaching out to new people without a guarantee of reply, right? Sitting with uncertainty, receiving feedback and rejection, having real conversations with real people, which we know is not exactly abundant for young people these days, let alone adults, right? We work a lot on our computers in isolation, hearing different opinions, and responding with gratitude and curiosity instead of fear and negative judgment. And so that's a whole lot of feelings, right, that we might get to experience on this outer journey. And we practice applying GBL to the inner journey of the emotions that emerge thanks to the friction and connections that unfold over the course of the outer journey project. All right. And so when we teach this, by the end of the project or a course window, students have actually created two things. There's a tangible thing on the outside, right? An event, a town hall, a campaign, a proposal, a program, but they've also become a new person by the end of the project. And when we have the students present, they're presenting both about their outer and their inner journey. All right. You with me so far? So we've got an outer journey doing a project, but while we're doing that, there's an inner journey we're conscious about too. And so if any questions before we get more into what it looks like in practice, just throw in the chat and happy to answer those. Okay. So let's talk about our unstructured structure curriculum. All right. So we're working on a tangible project. In our case, working toward building an Earth Week or Earth Day project. And the metaphor we like to use for this unstructured structure curriculum is the avocado tree. All right. My colleague Henrik had this avocado tree in his backyard that just say it didn't exactly grow linear, right? Didn't just go straight, growing avocados. The branch did more of like this, and it was bending and all types of different directions. And he was looking at this one day and realized that the avocado tree doesn't grow and say, I'm gonna grow, this is the exact shape I'm gonna grow, right? Just like a project, starting the project and saying, this is exactly how the project is going to happen. What the avocado tree does is it grows to the light. Wherever the sun is, wherever the light's taking it, it's going to bend, twist, and turn to grow to where that light is. And so we do the same thing with our curriculum. There's not a prescription of you do this and then you have to do that and it has to look exactly like this. What we're doing is we're intentionally building connections with ourselves, with others, and growing to the light. And we have a four clear project planning phases to help apply this mindset, to help apply us growing to the light, right? But these four phases have a flexible expression, right? This unstructured structure that allows us to bend and twist and turn and not just have this blank canvas of we have no idea where we're going, what we're doing, but gives us a little bit of a container to play in and to guide our growth. And so students aren't handed problems or solutions. This is a structure that kind of holds them while they discover